Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome to the official Dram Association unbottling of a whiskey that I've been looking forward to ever since I found out that it existed, a Druid's Magic Potion. And yes, I do play Dungeons & Dragons, and yes, there is a Druid in our party, but that's not the reason I'm excited about this whiskey. We'll get to that though. First, the stats. So this is G15.17 from the SMWS. It's part of the December 2022 Outturn here in Canada. You might be able to pick it up right now. It's draftliquor.com/SMWS, but it's probably going to move pretty quickly. So get there fast. It was distilled in the Highlands region on the 13th of May 2013. It was aged for 8 years in a second fill ex-bourbon barrel and came out of the cask at 62.5% alcohol, and they managed to get 197 bottles at cask strength. So, why am I excited about this? Well, you probably already know I love G15s. One of my favourite SMWS codes, one of my favourite styles of whiskey, so much so that the official bottling of the equivalent of this from Loch Lomond, which is called Rostu. Well, actually, no, their official bottling is just called Loch Lomond Single Grain. The official bottling was actually an exclusive at the Strath in BC. We had all of it, and hopefully it will be again next time we get it. Love the whiskey. And that love affair started with the SMWS. It started with what has now become like a shining beacon of discovering amazing whiskies that you never knew existed, called Thermonuclear Banana. I have this much left in my bottle downstairs. Love that whiskey. One of the all-time greats in the SMWS, and one of the reasons that I truly believe that, especially when it comes to whiskey, favour fortunes the curious. And yeah, I found a new favourite that day, and I've been loving it ever since. And to really prove that, so we've been talking throughout this little mini series of unbottling videos, which we're doing instead of a Drinking Out Loud episode this month, just because bite-sized chunks might be easier on people's attention spans in December. There's a lot of things happening. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that December stuff. It's particularly special to me because, well, I've got 2 glasses out. Why do I have 2 glasses out? Well, that's because earlier this year, I finally made the trip to the Vaults in Edinburgh, the home of the SMWS. I'd never actually been there before, despite living in Edinburgh for about 4 years. I was a poor student back then. I couldn't really afford SMWS whiskey. I didn't get into the SMWS until I actually moved to Australia. I actually bought a sister cask to this, and I absolutely love it. I've been really making sure I don't drink it too quickly. There's actually not that much gone out of the bottle yet. I've been really taking my time with it. But I absolutely love the whiskey, so much so that it's officially the first whiskey that I ever bought for myself at the Vaults. And it's right here. It's called Take the Floor for Strip the Willow. And it was also distilled on the 13th of May. It is also 8 years aged, and it is also a peated Rostu. And yes, a peated Rostu. This is a peated single grain whiskey. How does that work? Well, the Rostu is only a single grain on a technicality. It's 100% malted barley, but it's done in a column still. So, how does that work? Well, quite simply, they peat the barley, same as they would with a peated single malt. I absolutely love this whiskey, and I'm intrigued by this one because you might see it's actually a different coloured stripe. This one is lightly peated, this one is peated. So I'm going to do a little side-by-side comparison. I'm going to start with the one I bought. All right, the lightly peated one's in the Dram Association glass. Take the Floor for Strip the Willow. Oh, yes. Yes. The most absolute, perfect in my mind, sort of example of a purely Highland peat. There's no coastalness in this one. There's no wacky seafood flavors. There's no iodine. It's just hickory smoke, wood smoke, maybe a little touch of a salty bacon thing going on there. And I mean, I like the coastal ones, but I really enjoy this style of whiskey. And a little bit of a sort of lighter, more spirit-forward style from it being in that column still. It's the equivalent, by the way, to the Nika Coffee malt, for those who enjoy Japanese whiskies as well. Imagine a peated Nika Coffee malt. Yeah, at cask strength and single cask. That's why I fell in love with this whiskey. It's my favourite whiskey I tried at the Vaults, despite trying some, quite frankly, insanely rare whiskies while I was there. They treated me well. I got to try a Bruichladdich, an SMWS Bruichladdich. I haven't seen one of those in a few years, have we? But yeah, this. Yeah, love this whiskey. Let's see how it compares to the brand new release. All right, Druid's Magic Potion, G15.17. I'm giddy with delight. This may well be my Christmas present for myself. Ooh. All right. Sister cask. So exactly the same age. Well, actually, we don't have the bottling date. Might be a different, but it's unlikely. I'd say it's almost definitely bottled on the same day, just because it's consecutive numbers. But yeah, same type of wood, second fill ex-bourbon barrel. And right off the get-go, you can actually see this one's a touch darker. I don't think it really picks that up on the camera. This one's a little touch darker, which is interesting, because the amount of people who aren't really deep on the whole whiskey train yet, who have this idea that peat brings colour, this one might trick them for that, because, yeah, off the get-go, it smells peatier. It smells like Marmite, actually. Interesting. Very interesting. It actually smells a little iodine-y as well. This is almost like a more coastal version of the other one. Which is really interesting, because that means that it was there in the spirit, but the intricacies of the maturation process have emphasized or nullified it. That's really cool. Yeah. Oh, that's really neat. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. Yeah. It'd be hard pushed to say which one's my favourite from the two, to be honest. They're quite different. Yeah. Both of them have that very savouriness to them. They're not sweet, really, at all, either of them. But yeah, this one's definitely got a bit more of that sort of acidic, iodine-y thing going. Yeah. Actually, I haven't even read the official tasting notes yet. I should probably do that. I missed that bit. You can tell it's the 7th whiskey of the series, because I'm making mistakes. Me? Mistakes? Never. Quiche Lorraine with peat smoked bacon lardons, followed by medicinal mouthwash and deep heat rub before we had a sip of that magic potion. Tiger balm. Yeah. All right. Do I like it? Yes, I do. Do I love it? Why, yes, I do. Is it different and interesting compared to the other one? Surprisingly so. More so than I expected. It almost tastes like someone took the Take the Floor for Strip the Willow and added like a couple of eyedroppers of Lefroy to it. It's interesting. And very unexpected. All right. So, how do you get your hands on this? Well, strathliquor.com/SMWS, or there's a direct link in the show notes of this video, and you can pick it up if it's still available. Only if you're an existing member. Yeah, it's below $180. You have to be an existing SMWS member to pick this one up. It is not eligible for the first year membership deal. It has to be over $180 for that. And this is $173.83. Love it. All right, well, this has been a wonderful outturn. Let me know what you think of the format change, doing it in bite-sized little unbottling chunks rather than the long form tasting. I might mix it up and do one way and one the other way in month to month, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for watching this little mini series. If you haven't seen them all, well, there'll be a link at the end of this video to the playlist, so check them out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which I guess will be the official unbottling for the December Dram Association in-store drop-in drams. which I'm really excited to try because unlike November's, which were two that I absolutely loved from earlier in the last last 12 months, the next two are two that I've never tried but really want to. So I'll see you there in a couple of weeks. Stay safe, stay well, and yeah,